What's good? It's your boy D Dot with MajorMusicENT.com and Icebreaker Radio. Producers Corner with Jazz on Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time on IcebreakerRadio.com. We talk about music marketing, pro audio, and engineering. Shout out to the team, Big Rich, Trey, Corey, and Chosen. Appreciate everybody that's been supporting the Producers Corner. Bringing y'all a video, haven't brought y'all a video in a couple of days. We're gonna be talking a little bit about crafting a unique sound. And there's a couple of things we're gonna go over. The first is internet saturation, and with all the technology in the era that we live in, there's a lot of artists and producers online, and I'm sure some of y'all probably saw my older video I done a couple of weeks ago actually, about hobbyists versus serious artists, and that kind of connects to that, and that's where a lot of the saturation is coming in at. You got the guys that, for example, that are really kind of investing in their careers, and I'm not saying that they aren't picking out some of the type of production or doing a lot of the same things, but those are the guys that really kind of tend to gather a following per se. Then you got the hobbyist guys, who they really just do it, I guess, because it's the cool thing to do today, to say you're an artist, to say you're a producer, and that's probably the ones who turn on the television and start emulating what they see on all these music stations like BET or MTV, or go to these hip-hop websites. Let these videos and the per se lifestyle reflect on their music, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong, everybody wants to live that lifestyle, popping bottles, in a club, cars, homes, whatever that may look like, clothes, but that is a result of the work that you put in. I mean, it doesn't just happen that way. And a lot of those guys are turning on the TV and doing all those things, and it's reflecting on their sounds. They're not really being themselves. And I don't know how many links I get a day where I try to listen to a couple of people's music every day. I can't listen to everybody's music, but I try to maybe 5-10 people a day, and give them some feedback. Sometimes they're pretty cool with it, sometimes they're not. But what I'm starting to find is everybody seems to want a trap beat these days. And the trap beat, basically, it's cool. I'm from the South, don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of that in me. But I feel that sound has really just got too watered down. Everybody wanted to do it. And again, I'm not saying it's just those guys who are quote unquote hobbyists, but I mean it's just everywhere. I mean, people got to start coming up with something different, which kind of leads me to the second one as well. The fact that the software is very easily accessible via the internet, and also kind of like I was mentioning earlier, technology has gotten better, but the cost of these items has also come down, and it's great that a lot of people are investing. But I mean, I personally also know people that have spent a couple of $100s on software, maybe made a couple of beats here and there, and they haven't touched it again, or they just kind of touch it every once in a while, and again, it's nothing wrong with having it as a hobby, but I feel a lot of those guys are messing up a lot of, in terms of, that's probably the guys online selling beats like for 99 cents. And to me, I don't know about you guys, but if something is 99 cents, it's probably not, great value. I want something that has a higher value. That's why I'm willing to pay for, things like MacBooks, all the software, keyboards, microphones, etc., etc. I'm willing to pay for the best that I can get with the money that I have. And I mean, that's a big part of it. And be yourself. You have to be yourself. I mean, I can't stress that enough. With that being said, I mean, kind of visualize this. Go back to you guys that are probably, you know, 25 or older. Go back to the 90s, for example. When Outkast first came out, they had like Organized Noise behind them. When Jay-Z was kind of like in the prime of his career, he worked with a multitude of producers. You can go with DJ Premier, I don't know, Kanye, Neptunes, Just Blaze. I mean, he's worked with Dr. Dre, a number of people. You go with Cash Money in their early days, they had Manny Fresh behind them. So basically what I'm getting at is there was always a unique producer behind a hot artist that was released. And I mean, you can go on from the 80s up until now and just do your research. Find out, you know, go look at some of, if you have a lot of CDs or whatever, go look inside of some of the album artwork, for example, or where they list the credits, and just check out some of the production and producers that worked on some of your favorite albums from some of your favorite artists earlier in their career. And then just look, if they have multiple albums, look over the course of their career. They always also kind of repackage themselves by working with newer producers and gaining a new sound. That is definitely something that will get you noticed, opposed to having the same sound the next man has. People want originality. They don't want to hear the same things over and over. And you know, that's pretty much as real I can get on that one. The other piece, don't burn yourself out on creativity. A lot of guys, you know, we like to practice. We like to try to get in as much work as we can. And that again is cool, because every time you make something, you're getting better. But one of the things you also want to make sure is you're making a lot of quality material, not just making material. Make material. It's a big difference. And what's also happened, that can also kind of lead you, if you're like, I'll use me for example. I mean, you might be a little differently, but I may go on this wave where I make beats for 2-3 weeks straight, and then I hit a wall on creativity. And it's not necessarily that it's not necessarily a wall, but what I tend to notice is when I start making beats and I'm on a road like that, towards the end of that, everything kind of starts sounding the same. So I kind of just like to step back until something else kind of resonates in my head, and then I like to hit it again. In the meantime, when I'm not making beats, I do other things like reading and just kind of investing in my knowledge. Some of the things that I read about, marketing, for example, and advertising, things like that, starting up your business. I'm very big in business development. 32 Ways to Being a Champion in Business by Magic Johnson. It talks a little bit about his early days when he opened up all his movie theaters, also about his Starbucks chains, and then just about how he got started, how he networked his way into meeting other people that could kind of get him into places, and just building relationships. Goes into how to brand yourself, and it goes really deep into marketing. I mean, this guy's done a lot that was listed in his book, and some of the stuff that even not in his book. Like recently, he got ownership in the Dodgers, and that's pretty huge. I mean, he's pretty much revitalized that franchise. Magic Johnson, very good marketer. Definitely recommend this book. And what I have here is from the studio to your stereo, and Gorilla Home Recording kind of helped me on the engineering process and setting up my home studio. It just talks a little bit about basic mixing and mastering techniques inside of different programs, and just how it's kind of the same. It's really just about the layout and learning each program. Definitely recommend either one of these to anybody with a home studio. Some of you guys, you know, if you don't get a chance to go to school for this stuff, just pick up a book, watch some videos. There's tons of information on YouTube, really depending on what you're using. And I mean, I've been doing this since like 2004, 2005. First book I ever picked up was on Reason 3. That was the first program that I ever used. and I read this front to back, and that was kind of the beginning of me being a producer. After that, I moved on to Logic, read on that. I'm a little better at reason than Logic, and then Machine, I honestly did not read about. Just kind of, I did watch a couple of videos, but mostly everything was just learned from just. I always like to just kind of fiddle around with when I had an MPC, for example. That's how I learned that. I did read some information on the MPC, but not extensively. And the same thing, again with the Machine, just kind of learning from just using it every day. And I'm still learning a lot about it. I mean, I've been using it for a year, and there's still little things here and there I pick up every day. But don't be afraid to ever invest in your knowledge. I mean, there's other things too, kind of along the lines of the whole creative process. I'm reading about chords and learning those. I don't really know how to play the piano like a pro, but I mean, I can do my thing on it here and there. And this kind of just teaches you chords and chord progressions and really how to position your hands on a keyboard. So, I mean, there's other things you can do as well, like watching movies, just listening to different types of music. Like, for example, I listen to a lot of jazz aside from hip hop. That kind of also help get the creative mind going. And then the last part is feed your mind positive stuff. You have to do that because too much negativity, it really can affect you in a very serious way, especially if this music is something you want to do. I try not to watch too much television because you turn on the news, you see a lot of negativity. One other thing that has helped me is just not really going on social networking as much as I used to. I still do it, but I actually try some other tactics and just not go online as much, and that kind of helps me keep a clear head, just not seeing, because you look at some of these timelines, you see a lot of depression, a lot of negativity, and that's not really what life is about. I mean, I talked about this on a lot of other videos, but it's really all about how you view the world. And if you continue to feed your mind negativity and ignorance, that's really what you're gonna find around you. That's really gonna be where you are in your life. And you gotta always look and ask yourself, why am I where I'm at? And how do I get to where I'm going? And I mean, that's really what you have to do. I mean, you have to really be dedicated, continue to build relationships, continue to feed your mind nothing but positive information and positive vibes, and just be yourself, and everything's gonna definitely come together. I'm not gonna really make this video too drawn out. Definitely appreciate you guys watching the video. Go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also hit the like button. Join us again Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time on icebreakerradio.com for the Producer's Corner. We talk about music production. To go a little bit deeper than that, we talk about marketing, pro audio engineering, answering any questions from anybody out there. Just hit us up. Me personally, DEDOT81 on Twitter, and also at Major Music Beats. And for all you artists out there, go ahead, visit the website majormusicent.com for production, and you can pretty much contact me for any exclusive inquiries at 972-591-1049. This has been another Major Music TV, and again, appreciate you tuning in. Holla at your boy.